Yep, you live now. StreamYard, Instagram. Let's go live. Let's get live. Mm. Oh yeah, we live on the gram now. Let's get it. Yes, sir. Oh yeah, we are officially live on our 14th episode of the Respectfully Great podcast. This is a beautiful thing. I have a wonderful, special, hardworking guest inside of the building. And you know what I always do is I have to have the proper introduction. Because what would I be? I'll be remiss if I don't do the proper introduction. And here it is. The title of our podcast today, 14th episode, is When Disaster Strikes. Powerful name. Powerful name. It arises so many questions, so many things I would love to ask, that I'm going to ask, and so many things that intrigue me that I know we're going to get a lot out of today's special guest. So without further ado, let's kick this thing off right. Most people run from the scene. He walks into it. Behind the yellow tape, broken furniture, piles of treasure, now trash, and splats of blood stains, comes in a specialist, ready to restore not only a home, but the trauma attached. In spaces where most see chaos, he leads with compassion. When tragedy strikes, he's prepared to do the work most people could never stomach, risking his life to repair another's, the epitome of someone who he is, not only who he is, but that's his business model as well. I am more proud to prepare you guys for one of my special guests, which is my brother. Without further ado, the CEO of Trauma Care, Corin Brown.
Hell of an introduction, buddy.
Come on, loved one.
Hell of an introduction.
Come on, loved one. I am pumped. I am pumped, man. This has been long awaited. We've been talking. This is actually my relative. This is my cousin in the building, and I want people to know that this established family member relationship, things that we got going on. I'm super proud of the things that he have gone through, the things he had made it out. He was in the kitchen in two different in so many other occasions what you guys may not be really familiar with, but I'm gonna break it down to you guys of what I mean about being inside of the kitchen. He knows exactly what I'm talking about. But I want you guys to get fully acquainted with my guest today, which is Corin Brown, the CEO of Trauma Care. Another round of applause.
Word live. What's the word?
What's
Mr.
up, loved one?
TCS himself.
Yes. How are you feeling today? Before we get into the nitty gritty, got that good old water game over there. I just want to know how you feeling today.
Good, bro.
Good.
Been running today.
Mm-hmm.
Today, so I was just out in the field
Okay.
working for next week.
Mm.
Do shit ahead of time.
I like that. You said a very key component. Head of the schedule, preparing for next week. How many of us take things just day by day and not really preparing for the future? And this is something that we all learn when it's not only in our personal lives, but when we deal with business. We understand that in order to get the job done, it requires the overnight thinking, the morning thinking, the work that you do today to prepare for the next week and the following business endeavors that you may come encounter with. So I commend you for being ahead of the schedule. You feel me?
The kind words is really mandatory. You know, doing
Absolutely.
what you do. You
Yes.
got hey, we didn't talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
schedules ahead of time, and that's just how you stay ahead of the game, man.
True indeed. Absolutely. Ahead of the schedule. They say if you're on time, you late. And we ain't gonna be late. We're gonna be ahead of schedule.
God.
So, what really intrigued me, first and foremost, is when I go through the social media, when I see your truck riding past, when I see the duties, the day in and day out job, I'm looking at your business, and the first thing I just questioned was like, that looks gruesome, right? Because
Yeah.
I've seen things where I see piles of trash, I've seen blood, I've seen burnt down spaces where fire looked like something had caught fire. I read some of the captions when I see things of, unalive, people, places, things, animals, etc. It rose so many questions about your business. So just a brief introduction to tell people just what you do.
So I do everything these folks don't want to do. you know,
I like that.
I'm a restorer at heart, man. Like,
Ooh, I like that.
um, I basically do biohazard remediation, so
Mm-hmm.
blood, trauma scene cleanups, infectious disease, sewage backups, you name it, suicide cleanups, everything.
Mm-hmm.
I seen it all, man, and it's a blessing. It sounds pretty creepy.
Yeah.
People always ask me how you do this, how you have the stomach for it. Da, da, da.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I just like I said, I'm a restorer. I come from this. Shout
Absolutely.
out to my pops. Nigga,
Big shout out to Brown.
show me everything I know. I wouldn't even been able to start this, have this shit if it wasn't for that man. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
what my pops does is like mold mitigations and water mitigations, so that's like damage. And I wanted to specify in the trauma shit. You
Absolutely.
know, I had to clean a good friend of my dad's up before who
Mm.
passed away.
Condolences.
God rest his soul. Yeah, he was a good dude. But at that moment, while I'm cleaning that shit up, I'm saying in my head like, who does this?
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes,
I'm
yes, yes.
that do it, but like, who does this shit for real? So that's kind of how I got into this shit. I
So,
seen that it's very lucrative. I seen that the competition for it wasn't as popping, so I figured let me jump on this. Let me come up with a game plan. Let me let me tap into this field. And I enjoy it, bro. This shit don't make me
absolutely.
this I got the stomach for it.
Yes, yes.
It made me just I feel good about myself too after
Mm.
this for families, and I got random people crying on my shoulder and I'm
Wow.
consoling people. Man, that shit made me feel good.
Absolutely. You doing humanitarian work, and through your profession, that's very, very commendable. That's one of the things that really stood out to me when it said trauma care. Not just the title of your name, but I really dove deep, and I said, man, how many lives have he repaired or restored from people experiencing trauma? And we're going to delve really, really heavily into here, but I want to take a step back. I always do this. I love to jump in and jump right back out. And I want to do this because I'm going to give people some of, the foreground of who you are, where you come from, what inspired you. Of course, we said your father was one of the components, but you've seen a family member, a friend that was actually decomposed. And you said, you know what, who does this type of work right here? So a light bulb went off in your mind. You said, you know what, let's get curious. So you got curious. And then after that, you went to curiosity to ideation to, okay, let's put this thing into the ethos and let's get creative and let's turn this into a business model. And we have it here today, what we know as trauma care. But there was things that you were very skillful in before we got here. So when I said earlier about the kitchen, when people said most
Yeah,
people wouldn't know, right? But you's
yeah,
a chef.
dive into that. So
Yes, let's talk about that. Let's talk about before we got into running your own business, career path wise. Where were you at in your life? What did you wanted to do? What you inspired to do? Let's talk about those things.
cooking was definitely like it still is
Yeah.
one of my big passions. Something that I enjoy to do. It's something that I chose to do while I was in high school.
Yep.
It was 10 years ago.
Correct.
Um, and I went to Culinary Tech Center in the city.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, my culinary degree. Worked 14th and Union Square. Worked for John George, Chef Laurent Taylor.
Big names.
Names, man, a lot of big names, and it was cool.
Absolutely.
One thing I'll say about cooking, that shit taught me how to work.
Mm.
I worked
Long.
brought my work ethic to a different level, bro.
Absolutely.
And that's a job that you have. You know how people have jobs and they could just feel like they can bullshit half the day and bullshit. You're not doing that when you're in the kitchen.
Not at all.
It's 8 to 10, 8 to 12 hours straight, and you're on your feet, you're on your toes, you hustling and bustling. So that's
Hmm.
how my mind is programmed.
Yeah.
I don't have time for the bullshit. You see me, bro. I don't be
Absolutely.
like
Grind. Absolutely.
all my mind. No, you
Yep.
know what I'm saying. So I of course every kid wish they went to college and wish they I'm so glad that my pops was able to invest in me in my
Mm.
time,
Yes.
even though I didn't finish pursuing it, which I will because I'm
Yeah.
not
Yep.
but that shit taught me something, man. That shit is like the military, very precise, very taught me time management,
Yeah.
how to work amongst others. It's a
Yep.
lot. That's the biggest thing because a lot of motherfuckers, especially in the black community,
Yeah.
we don't work amongst each other, bro.
No. So communication was a skill set that you had to
Uh,
develop and learn quickly.
brother, I mean, not only communication, respect,
Talk about that.
respect and rank. When chef has
Okay.
to do something, is yes chef, no chef, and it's not
Respect the
because
rank.
he's not because he's in charge. It's because, man, any business that thrives, any business that's successful, bro,
Correct.
order is the most important thing.
Mm.
That's what I'm learning in this shit now.
Yep.
Order.
Order.
Everybody to know their place. Everybody
Absolutely.
have structure, bro, in every
Correct.
business you want it to be successful. That's what I'm learning now.
That's a beautiful thing. I love you said that too because a lot of times we mishandle that when it comes to our personal lives and our family structure, household, work environments. A lot of these areas when we fail, we don't look at okay, what's happening around me that I'm missing the target on. And a lot of times we not able to take we want to take leadership roles, but we don't know how to follow. We don't know how to take direction. We don't know how to pay attention to detail. We don't want to work amongst each other because we say, hey, you know what? I'm working with Corin and he's my direct competition. He's the enemy versus saying, okay, how do we work together? And the beautiful thing that you said, working in that, you know, congested environment when there's orders coming, when you got to specify some detail about certain plates and you got to make sure that the temperatures are right. You got to make sure all of these things are checked off and it's 8 to 12 hours during the day, constantly on your feet thinking. And that's one of the things where I'm like, the multitasking that you have to endure in that type of condition, along with the heat. You can't stand the heat, get out the kitchen. But that motto of understanding that it's going to be hot in here, everybody's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be sweat. It's going to be hard work. It's going to be people going back and forth, going into the freezer, the cold box. They come. It's so much going on, and to be able to stand there and endure that and learn and understand the pecking order is very very commendable, and I give you nothing but kudos to that.
And I appreciate it, brother.
Light work.
And you can't tell me everything that you just mentioned doesn't apply in actual real life.
Absolutely. Hand in hand, family. Absolutely.
Gosh.
Yep. You and you know I hear this all the time because I mentioned some of the groups that I'm in, right? And I always I never you know what honestly it wasn't not even taboo. I wasn't aware. I didn't know that there were think tanks, there were support groups, there were quote unquote what they call masterminds. There are people that link up whether via social media, via YouTube land, etc., or in person, where people come together, congregate, and they talk about some of the ideas that they have. And I didn't understand how powerful that was because when you start getting around people that actually think along the lines of where you trying to go or where you are presently, and people trying to move in that same realm, you start to understand there's a different type of drive that comes with it. There's a different type of respect of that you must have to have in order to get to the next level, because you think that the information, they say the information is supposed to be sold, not told, right? But when you come into some of these spaces, these people are willing to give you the game, but they feel like, okay, why would I waste my time on somebody that's wasting theirs? So a lot of times you get into these spaces and you talk about some of the things that you may endure, but you start to see, okay, you know what? Oh, if this didn't work for me in this capacity, what elements can I take from that person's story? Not more. A lot of times, it's not even what you learn what to do; it's learn what you don't do or what not to do.
We was just touching on this off camera,
Yes, yes,
discussing um when you when when you're in a business, it doesn't matter what you do. You need to tap in with your competition.
absolutely,
And we derail from it. We try to not look at the competition because we feel like we're not doing good enough, or just being hard on ourselves, or but bro, that matters, man.
absolutely. It
You know,
definitely matters.
rooms with people that do the same thing as you,
Yeah,
rooms that with people that are above you, and um it's something that we need to learn. It's something that people need to put their pride
yeah,
aside
that'd be for sure.
and lock the fuck in. That's really what it is. And I'm still learning. I'm a student in the game still. I'm
Absolutely,
nowhere near where I want to be, or nowhere near successful. But I put myself in the rooms with people that are,
I'm live
so
now.
I feel like I'm almost there.
Absolutely. I mean to cut your wisdom. I thought I was live on Instagram, but I just got on live. So the whole time I thought I pushed the button.
Ooh.
Typo. But it's all good. So we still got it captured no matter what. We still have it captured. And you gonna still see it all on the
Amen.
tube. Yes, sir. Um, so talking about how we talk amongst ourselves, right? And why it's important to learn from one another. Something that you said that had not it been for your father playing a pivotal role of investing in you. And before we jump there, right? I just seen something with your mother just graduating, and
Oh
that
yeah.
is super super. Let me tell you, having a
Mom,
talk mama do talk about. Come on, man.
shout
Come
out
on,
to mom.
Cheryl.
A
Big
strong.
love, unconditional love.
That's one of the strongest individuals, women that I know, man, on this planet. And I'm sure that sounds a little cliche, but
Nah, but it is. It's true.
that's real shit, man. Like, I mean, kudos to my pops, but my mom,
Absolutely.
me, man, all the basic shit you
Mm-hmm.
need to know, man. When it come to mannerism, when it come into looking in folks' eyes, when
Yes.
just, and I'm from the south, so like that shit matters. You know what I'm
Correct.
saying? And I'm
Absolutely.
glad I was able to instill everything that she taught me, and everything that that I've learned from her, and been able to apply it today.
True indeed. It's
My pop,
crazy. Finish. I mean, cut your wisdom.
for my pops, definitely my mom being able to let me live with my pops, and for him to showcase what he does every day to me. That shit that just took me to a whole nother level. Took my mind to a whole nother realm, bro.
Absolutely. We
And I'm
learned. I'm listening.
grateful.
Absolutely, super grateful, and I love to see things like that because it's a testament to how important parenting is and how the roles that our parents play in our lives can really help us thrive and get to those next levels. With your mother just finished graduating, that's a badge of honor. Seeing that path, your father business acumen, and it doesn't stop there because he's still that in all of his children. I'm watching V-Man when V-Man and he has his entrepreneurship with his craftsmanship when it comes to his music. Same thing with Sean, and I'm like, me and Poudet was down in Texas on South by Southwest. This is maybe I can't even recall. And we bumped into your brother down there, and he's out there on his grind doing what he do
Brother everywhere, bro.
everywhere, and he put that pain in. You see him constantly coming out with new innovative things. I can't wait to have him up here, but I see him always coming out with new innovative ideas, dropping new music, connecting with these people. He's in the in crowd. He's part of the culture. He is the culture, and he knows what's going on. He's actually leading the trend because what you see people are on, he's already on. He's
Hmm.
already on, and then he's on to the next. When people are off, when people just starting to that, he's already on to the next thing. So his innovation with his thought process of how he see himself in the game is so unique on personality and character of just business acumen, because we see it passed down from generation to generation. And I watch how all you guys navigate in your own space, from Mom Dukes to Pops to your brothers. I'm like, this is super, super powerful. And it's not only shown through the things that you guys were just learned and taught, but it's actually acted out and it's actually transgressing to other things that you are helping other people do. Because there's so much impact that all of you guys have had on me in so many ways, to where I'm able to look back and say, not only are you helping one another, but you are helping people out there in real time get another step closer to where their goals are aspired to be. And I'm watching that. Your pops played a huge role as well. He gave me opportunity when I was going to school for HVAC, right? He said, "Yo," he said, "John, what you doing?" And at this time, I just finished. I was doing scrap metal at the time, so I had a few vans running around just collecting all metal, taking it to the junkyard, etc. And he said, "John, what you doing?" I said, I'm chilling. I said, "I'm about to go to school." He said, "All right." He like, "Yo, listen, won't you go to?" He said, "Yo, won't you go to Ohio and take these courses around safety, PPE, etc." And I was like, He said, "Well, let me know if you want to go, and we make that thing happen. I shoot you over there. You go there, and you get all the credentials you need in order to be in the line of business to do some of the things that he's doing." And I
Mm-hmm.
didn't take the opportunity at the time, because I was going to school for HVAC, etc. And I said, "Wow, so many doors open up when you are on the path. So many people see things within you that you may not even see within yourself. And then later on, you start seeing, oh man, this person invested in me, just even spending their time. This person invested in me, dropping a jewel. Or I had family support when it came to financial things. Or I had to learn a hard lesson going through the grueling hours of being inside that kitchen and putting my own work in, and then getting respect from the top chefs around the world and allowing you to be in the kitchen to work with them. It's a testament to every part of our journey, and every step is very, very important, because a lot of times we dismiss it. And I love these stories and hearing them in real time about the paths that you have taken and the guests that come up here, because I heard a quote from somebody saying, I don't want to misquote it on where I got it from, right? But it said, you don't know where a person had been in order to allow them to make the decisions that they make in their lives at the present time. So a lot of times we come to make decisions in our lives, and we call it having high agency, having high quality decision making, having prudence. So we say, well, wow, how that person understands to go left or go right versus the opposite side. And it becomes through it comes through the channels of which we learn. And the more and more we able to learn from one another what to do and not to do, it builds up our decision making. And having these decisions in our lives allow us to get from point A to point B. In every part of our journey, yours, mine, when we cross paths at various times, it's just a testament of all of the decisions that we've been making up until that point. And you being inside. Talk to me. Listen, I'm listening.
And everything you saying right now, 100% facts. But what the audience and people need to know before anything is you gotta be willing to play that, willing to play that position, willing to listen, willing to learn. That's fucked up, especially my generation. You're a little older than me, bro.
Yeah.
Dad always tell me when I told him like I wanted to stop working for him and do my own thing. He
Yeah.
said it's gonna be hard, and I also want to let you know I don't. He said something with y'all generation. Y'all think that everything just comes within like instant gratification. It don't.
You don't.
You gotta put that pain in,
You
bro.
gotta
You
put
got,
that pain in.
and you
Some
also gotta be willing to fucking listen, man.
willing.
Everything you saying is 100% right, man. You can't say it any better.
And but that willingness, you got to be able to say, you know what, I'm willing to go out there and put those long hours. I'm willing to go out there and connect. I'm willing to, sacrifice. He said, I talk about this even in relationships, etc. Even when I talk to my companion, I talk about it. I said it's not really about equal giving; it's about equal sacrifice. What are you willing to sacrifice to give up to get what you want? And a lot of times people can't go without because they want what they want at that very moment. So a lot of people don't have the discipline in order to say, you know what, I'm not gonna eat, filet mignon tonight and go have the hamburger helper, or I'm gonna go in the kitchen, cook the tuna up with some salad or something. A lot of people not willing to do that consecutively over a duration of time to say, you know what, I gotta go through this storm in order to make it out, in order to have that sunshine. And these are some of the things that we need to learn along our journey. But having this open conversation and forum about it to let people know that no, it's not gonna come by way of, it's not gonna come easy, right? The things that we want to do is gonna come with some friction. We're gonna hit some brick walls, and how we get over those brick walls. Be willing to go out there and face it, for one. Getting around other people that overcame the thing, seeing what failures that other people have gone through. When I was up there talking with Money the other day, he said there was a person that was a bum, and he said, "Mon, you know why I respect you?" He said, "Because you listen to me." And he said, I have something to offer. And not knowing that his ear, he was somebody that worked on Wall Street.
Who, man?
No, the guy, the bum guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the gentleman that he was talking to, that he said nobody else give him the ear, but Mun listened to him. He said that I've worked on Wall Street. I've been around money. I've been through, but I made some mistakes in my life. So Mun said, you know what? Me being a smart individual, let me learn what he did along his journey that he fell. Where was his pitfalls at? So I can avoid the pitfalls, because I may be doing what I'm doing on my journey, getting to where I need to get to, and it may be a jewel that he passed on and say, hey, don't be tempted by all money ain't good money. You may come. I learned this through my business. When I took shorts, I thought I could scheme. Things wasn't moving fast enough for me, so I thought I could finesse. I did that with various businesses, and come to find out, I had to not only did I take the L in that moment, I had to pay that back twice.
Yep.
Because me being negligent and not understanding the ramifications of allowing other people to get in my ear, my space. You could do X, Y, and Z, thinking all money is good money, and found out the wrong way. And I had to suffer for that. But it's a valuable lesson that I will never do again. You can't cheat the process.
You know what I learned from listening to that? Yo, that nigga Mun is
Legendary, right?
that interview was hilarious, bro, because he was dead ass, bro.
Super serious.
Yo, what I learned from when he was telling that story, bro, is you can't judge a book by its cover, bro.
Can't.
Us as people, bro, we just like feel like because a nigga ain't got shit or somebody ain't doing well as you or someone ain't. Man, listening to people, you don't know what type of wisdom these people got that you might, bro, like instill and just like. I got a friend,
Yep.
God rest his soul. His name is Barry Johnson, man.
R.I.P.
Love.
Barry.
He did 27 years in jail, man. And I
Wow.
don't know what people might think because of his background. Yo, that nigga taught me so much game, bro, in the 4 or 5 years that I knew him.
Wow.
And when I tell his story to people, people check out. Just like Money have to listen to the bum nigga he cutting.
Mm-hmm.
Listening to this nigga because he got something to say, bro. We all,
Absolutely.
and a lot of people fail to realize that, man. We can't judge a book by its cover, bro. My
Not
girl
at
asked,
all.
girl asks me all the time, why you talk to this person? Why you even tolerate this? Why you? Because I have a gift of just knowing when people have good in them. When people have something to say, I'm willing to listen, bro. That's just my personality.
Absolutely.
Felt him on that when he was talking about that. I love that shit.
Beautiful thing. We commend on that. Go check that podcast out. Clipped up. Ang bang. Absolutely.
All right, need a free cut, nigga. Shout you out.
Try to get laced. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring it to currently with the business now, right? When we say biohazard, people use this terminology, biohazard. What does that specifically mean in your field of business and your expertise?
A biohazard basically means any biological substance that poses a threat to human life.
Mm,
That could be pathological waste,
mm,
people's organs and their tissues. That could be bodily fluid, vomit, uh, saliva, blood. But it's a hazard.
it's
You
an
know,
hazard.
it's a hazard, and it's not taken lightly. It needs to be taken seriously with precaution. When I say precaution, obviously proper PPE,
Correct.
um, which stands for personal protective equipment.
Mm.
You need to have the right gear on. You
Correct.
need you need to have the certifications. You need to um you got to be prepared. You need your OSHA. All these things matter because when you're working for not only regular customers but the government or different type of contract, they want to see that you have these things, and also you charge for these things.
Yeah.
Get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I charge motherfuckers down to the gloves that I wear.
Absolutely.
So everything matters. But most important with this business, you want to make sure you have all of your certifications and qualifications you need before you start doing it.
Yeah. If you don't, there are fines and penalties that you may have to pay.
What? Yo, nigga,
Mm.
I say in 2 seconds, bro.
Wow.
2 seconds, bro. I mean, I'm talking. I'd rather do something the right way than have to pay for my mistakes early.
Yeah.
Um, Thousands of dollars of fines. Let me not have the right P90 mask on. Let me not have a Tyvek suit on while we working. It could be a major issue.
So typically, when you go into a scenario, you have a job. The things that you have on is pretty much you have some protective gloves. You have a hazmat or some type of protective suit
Ah,
on.
yep.
You have a breathing apparatus, possibly, right?
Yep.
For sure. Um, some of the things that you may come up that are hazardous, like you mentioned, bodily fluids, etc. I was watching something, right, and it was along the lines of somebody that was a hoarder, right? So I
Hmm.
can imagine that your job varies when it comes to situations where you actually clean up blood, etc. Because actually, our thumbnail is actual a real actual post from a job that you have done. So there was a bathroom where there was blood everywhere, right? And you had to go in there and restore that. You had to clean that up and get everything back up to code standard, etc. When you're going into these spaces, um, what I mentioned about uh, someone I've seen that was dealing with a hoarding situation, he wasn't just a hoarder. So hoarders, we normally think about just a bunch of trash, things piling up, etc. But I've seen this guy had a bunch of jugs full of urine. And when I seen this thing full of urine, I'm like, what will possess someone to not only hoard, but to have feces, urine, etc. inside of a bottle, right?
Mental health.
Mental health. This is what I'm going to touch upon. We are here in mental health awareness, Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. And I thought about this during preparing for this segment today. And it came across what you mentioned about having mental health issues and disorders. When you go into these spaces, do you see this quite often?
Oh my gosh. I actually just finished a job where this lady had, bro, she had shit piled to the ceiling. And,
What?
and this is what I want to, this is a moral to this story about you got to know your customers, and you also can't think you know them too much.
Mm.
Need to also leave room when you are interacting with these customers for like just reassurance, because so basically I did this job for this lady. She had shit piled to the top of the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
Made sure that I ran this job so well, and I made sure every time we went to another room and transitioned to another room that she was aware that we were transitioning, and
Ah.
that when we got to the room, if she could even remember all of the valuable stuff that she wanted to keep. Because at this point, the town came to her crib and basically let her know, like, you got to get this stuff out of here or we going to have to condemn your crib. Fire
Wow.
department came, hollered at her, let her know she got to take care of the situation. So I take care of the situation. I'm thinking this lady is so down to earth, so cool.
Correct.
Um, I'm doing everything that she asks.
Correct.
And at the end of this job, man, She paid me. Everything was good. It was hell on from the end of the job, bro.
No way.
Started accusing my team of stealing her pearls.
Wow.
We all in our 20s.
Correct.
What the fuck are we doing with some pearls?
Yeah.
They look like Mardi Gras beads to us. So we don't know what's going. I'm letting her know, listen, we don't come for them type of folks. Like, these people been working with me for years.
Absolutely.
But it's while I'm arguing with this lady, my dad always tell me, once you start arguing with a fool, you become a fool.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying people with mental health are fools. They're not. But I also have to be very sympathetic and
Absolutely.
compassionate to these people who go through these things. This is
Correct.
the same lady who told me she ain't seen her dining room table in 15 years.
Wow.
But she knows where some pearls was in her room that she don't even sleep in. It's just certain things. And I found myself beating myself up about that. She left a comment and I found myself replying to the comment, just all this extra. And part of me saying, you know what? I don't even have to do that. I won't even
No.
do that. Because I have to realize these people, they have issues, bro. People have issues, man. And you just gotta be compassionate. You gotta eat what comes with it. Far from thieves. You know what I'm saying? But you also gotta realize this is what comes with this business, man. These hoarders. She's what do they call it? Dumpster diving.
Dumpster diving.
Things that she don't even, brother, that she's never gonna use. She's trying to save um broken headphones. It's hard, man. And that's why when I start bringing people on these hoarder jobs, I'm tapped in with a lot of therapists who specialize in hoarder disorder.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it's a necessity for me to start bringing them on my jobs.
See.
Someone to be able to coach while we work, because I can't keep stopping and going for everything that you want to keep. It's a real,
Mm.
it's bad.
It's funny you say that, right? You think about the term OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, right? This is where people just do repetitive things over and over again. This is a condition where most hoarders undergo. I came across a term called magical thinking, right? Within the OCD realm of this mental health issue. When I came across this term, magical thinking, what it is I'll give you the direct term somewhere here. It says magical thinking, the belief that certain thoughts or actions can directly influence outcomes even without a legal connection. Without a logical connection. So when you started to mention about how she would just dumpster dive, go into the garbage, get things unnecessarily, keep them as if there will be some of use, that term magical thinking is directly what that details. And understanding these things from a mental health perspective, somebody that, quote unquote, because we all have underlying things going on in our lives. We don't know how, if we don't communicate with people that can recognize some of these things in our lives, they say, hey, you know what, you're doing this. That's a defense mechanism. And we all have things that we do depending on who we are, place of environment, where we at in our lives in general. We all do things for reasons, right? You about to say something? I'm listening.
We all do. We all do. You're right.
Yeah, absolutely. And it made me think about um when you said about bringing on a therapist. Have you ever had to go to therapy yourself after some of these jobs of witnessing not only a hoarding job? Have you ever went to where you see, okay, because I know you've been around blood, and somebody, when you tell people, hey, this is a job that most won't be able to stomach, but although you're able to stomach it because you got, you have maybe put up a block in your mind to say, you know what, I'm going here to provide a service, I'm gonna do it with or without, I'm gonna have compassion for my clients, etc. And I'm gonna find the right balance to go in there to take care of business. Now maybe bring in some extra help when it comes to the therapy side to help coach the person on the other side, getting the repair or restoration done on their behalf. Um, have you ever had or found yourself in a position to where, you know what, came up from a long day of work and said, you know what, I need to vent, I need to get this off my chest, or I need to tell you about something that I experienced today?
That's what you. Glad you said that. You know what fix it? You know what the solution to that is?
I'm listening.
Having a strong woman in your corner.
Powerful. I like that.
I'm
I like that.
I'm
I like that.
my work home, but and I don't. When I say home, that doesn't mean home to me, my girl, or home to. No, I don't bring my like my therapy for that is
Yeah.
my girl. Listen, this is what happened today.
Correct.
Her and all, but none of this shit bothers me, bro, because I come from this, bro. I'm
Mm-hmm.
a creator.
Yeah.
Like I enjoy going into work every day knowing I can make someone's fucked up problem better.
Yeah. I like
Thrives,
that.
bro. It thrives me. Like, man. And as far as therapy, nah, I'm not a big therapy guy, but I do believe in talking to people and venting and getting your shit off. And that's what my lady's for.
Absolutely. That's powerful. Glad you got a strong woman by your side, and I commend her for that because a lot of times we go through these journeys alone, and not having somebody by your side can be difficult. Not saying that you won't be able to get through some of the things, but to have somebody that you can say, you know what, hey, I can vent to, I can have shared opinions, I can have opposed opinions. I can have some of these things to where I can look at things from different viewpoints and actually have something to gauge myself because a lot of times we're in our own mind. We're in our own thoughts. So a lot of times the way we do things is normally the way that we've been programmed to do them. And a lot of times we can't get out of our own way to see things from different perspectives if we don't have another voice of reason or personnel or watching things or intaking information in order to weigh it up against. I commend you on that for having um, the beautiful people in your corner and rooting you on and people to tell you, hey, Cole, I think this about this situation. This is my opinion. Of course, you're going to be able to make your own decisions, but this is how I see it. And a lot of times we need support groups. We need think tanks. We need people around us or environments to be in to allow us to share some of these thoughts because a lot of times we can take some of these things home and it can affect relationships. I've been in situations where I've taken work home with me. I've been on the opposite end where work came home with my companion. And sometimes it can be overbearing. Sometimes it can be, sit there, listen, do your thing, whatever you got to do to get through it. But the therapy aspect of it, when I heard that term, I'm like, how many people need someone to talk to? And a
They,
lot of times, talk to me.
they do. And the therapist is it's it's expensive.
It costs. It costs. It costs them.
So sometimes I gotta let my customers know, like, and that has nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
I'm not a therapist. I don't do that. I just work with these people because they throw me jobs.
Yeah.
They put me in those circles with people that I need to be involved with. But it's important, man. It's very important for people to get this coaching, especially before we start the job, because
Yeah.
I don't want to do anything that's going to tarnish my business. I don't want people thinking I'm a thief or having people thinking I'm trying to come in their life and fuck their shit up. I'm not. I'm here to help, and
Yeah.
that's what yes is here to do. We here to help, man. We
Is
rest
that
my we restoring peace one at a time, man. That's it.
I like that. When you've been on jobs, there can be various things that you encounter. Thinking about smell. Have there ever been a smell that you walked into a space and was like, wait, hold up, what's going on in here? Have you ever encountered that?
And you know what bothers me the most? That these folks who homes I'm smelling this shit in don't even have the slightest bit of protection that they need.
Wow.
I'm talking, bro, people smelling so houses smell. Yo, we just did a job, and during this hoarder clean out I did, when I went and did the estimate, I seen about 30 cats.
30
So
cats.
you gotta 30 cats. So
Wow.
you gotta assume while doing this, I'm gonna find some dead cats, bro. Like I'm gonna find something in here that's bad because this smell is crazy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Meanwhile, they got a guy who's what do they call that? Dialysis. They got an old man and he's going to dialysis every day and he's doing his thing. But I'm watching him sit on this couch and flick the channels, brother, flies, everything, all in this dude's face, and I'm sitting
What?
like, this cannot be safe. So whatever.
Wow.
Long story short, we doing the job, bro. I found 12 dead cats in this crib.
Wait.
12, bro.
Run that back.
I found 12 dead cats in this crib. Pictures. So now I'm dealing with a lady who is in a nursing home,
Mm-hmm.
and her family is in the home. So I'm dealing with her caseworker. I have to let these people know this is a major biohazard in here. I
Absolutely.
I need more funds.
Yeah.
And the reason why I'm asking for more money is because we have to dispose of it different.
Yeah.
Can't put this shit in black bags and
Mm-mm.
go to the dump because
No.
that's a liability for me and my company.
Absolutely.
Um, I'll kind of give you some game on how you dispose of it. So when you got major bodily fluids and animal feces and fluids and bodies of things, you need to dispose of it in red bags. And
Okay.
these red bags basically let you know that this is a biohazard. It needs to be disposed of this way. So I work with a company that comes picks up my biohazard trash, and they dispose of it that way, but it's more money. So I have to
Mm.
explain to these people all the time that just because I come in and see a job and give you an estimate, there's always going to be some work change orders,
Absolutely.
especially if it's something to that degree.
Correct.
Now, very heartfelt to see, like, man, dead cats inside of fucking people's uh under their sinks and cabinets. Man, it was really hard to deal with,
I can
but
imagine.
it's something that has to be taken care of with precaution, and they're gonna pay.
Absolutely. Have you ever came across, just curiosity, because now you got me thinking about all of the things that you may have encountered. So we have seen, um, 12 dead cats. I can imagine, of course, you've seen feces, etc. Correct?
Species. I love those jobs. It sounds crazy,
The
but
feces job. You love the feces job.
I love them, man. It's a category 3 when we're talking restoration. So there's clean water, there's contaminated water, and then there is sewage.
Mm.
Sewage is what I want, man. I want the sewage jobs. I want people's fucking shit to back up. I want their cesspool to back up because I'm on it.
The
Um,
dirty job. You like the dirty jobs.
those are the jobs that entail the most work. Um, it's more lucrative. Most of those jobs go through insurance.
Mm-hmm.
We want those.
Yeah. Are you a person, just off topic? Are you a person that seek challenges? Because I'm hearing something.
That sees challenges.
Yeah.
I live off challenges, bro.
Ah, so
Oh
hold up,
man,
man.
I love that you
Let's
asked
go.
that, bro.
Hold on, where my horn
I,
at?
bro, I live
Let's
off
go.
challenges. Like what
Yeah.
challenges? Nigga, everything in my life is a fucking challenge, bro. Everything, bro. I love, bro. I never want people to get shit twisted. Yes, man. I'm gonna bring my dad up because he's
Yes.
part of my testimony, bro. He's part of everything, bro. Everything.
Absolutely.
And people love to say, "Oh, your pops got this. Your pops is this. Your pops is." Yes, my pops is fucking Superman, bro. But guess what? He installed a warrior, bro. Like,
True indeed.
there ain't nothing I ain't ever worked for, bro. Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I hate that fucking narrative, bro. Like, cause it don't mean shit, bro. I love challenges. I moved out at 19, didn't have to. You know,
True
my dad
indeed.
told me,
What do you tell you?
good luck.
Figure it out.
Right?
Go figure it out.
Yo,
Good luck. Good
hey,
luck.
good luck, bro. Like,
Absolutely.
I feed off challenges, bro.
Yes.
it made me who I am today.
Yeah. You know, it's funny, right? I was talking to Junior Marv, right? My cousin, right? And when I was talking to him, right, we was just building, whatever. And we came across about stories and how people write their stories. And I found something super, super intriguing because, like you said, you work for everything that you have in your life. And then I came across an interview with Young Berg, which we know as Hitmaker, right? And he said a comment throughout his interview. He said, "Hey, I never had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I never had a hot dog burger, McDonald's. He never had none of these things. He said my parents were rich. He said my parents were doctors, lawyers, etc. So he came from a wealthy background. And what I mustered up from that story, right, is that you can't never place where success is going to come from. You got people that came out the mud that are successful. You have people that was handed the silver spoon that were successful. You have people that was handed the silver spoon and today they are not successful. There are people that came out the mud that never made it out the mud.
Let me ask you this. I love
Yes,
it.
yes.
I think it's more impressive. All right, I'm not gonna say more because I'm not gonna say more, but
Yeah,
I it's very impressive when people who have the silver spoon make the best of it.
for sure.
Let's talk about these macaron niggas.
Yeah. Oh, they turned it up to the max.
They dad had that shit popping from the jump,
Yeah.
but
But they turned it up.
they were
They
able
turned
to
it up.
do with that shit when they got it.
Oh, they turned it up.
Able to have 70 trucks and to be able to run, bro. You driving through Manhattan, you seeing niggas that's from your town, bro.
Yeah.
That I
Inspiring.
applaud people who can elevate what they were given.
Absolutely. That's the hand you was dealt. And you said something very, very key. The hand that you were dealt, the keys, right? A lot of times people don't utilize it, don't be resourceful, right? And don't utilize their resources. So my thing is, no matter where you are in your life, people say, you know, they had the movie The Slumdog Millionaire, and the things that he was learning along his life, it felt like it served no purpose until he got on the game show and then won the $1 million. Because everything that he have experienced, the uncommon knowledge that he made, you know, hey, did you know that squirrels go bury their food and don't know where they bury the food at, right? People like that's uncommon knowledge that most people may not know unless they animal enthusiasts, right? But the thing is, some of these things that we learn along our journey is going to serve us at some point in our lives. And if we're able to tap into the hand and the cards that we were dealt, we can use these things to our advantage. So when you're talking about macaron plumbing and seeing what they done with their father left the business down to their children. And what they did, they turned it up and they utilized what they already had and they started to just do more business and maximize their potential. And I think that's what it really I think that's one of the key components of being able to take where you are today and where you want to be at tomorrow. It's just maximizing everything that's in your capabilities. That means utilizing the resources that you have, maximizing your skill set, continuously learning and growing, trial and error. You have to go through things in order to come to some type of conclusion that will leave you in a place to where, hey, did I make the right decision or the wrong decision? Hey, I'm still alive to go through the process to see what's my next move, because you don't know what the move is if you never encountered it. A lot of times we can see things, but actually going through it will give you all of the knowledge that you need to make it to the next step and the small adjustments. The thing is that we keep doing the same repetitive thing, trying to expect a different result. Einstein said it, doing the same thing, expecting a different result, and we don't get the results is because we're not tweaking the wrong. Once you finish figuring out, okay, what I didn't do right, let's go back to the drawing board. I'm still going to approach it the way I may approach it, but I may tweak this. This may work or serve me in a different way. I may learn something, I may not learn something, but you can constantly keep tweaking what you do in order to become better, just maximizing your potential. So when you say these things, talk to me.
No, that's it. That's really that you saying everything that I'm fucking thinking.
True indeed. And
Or
and you being able to recognize that, right? Supporting that shows that you're tapped in, not only just as a businessman, you're looking to grow, you're looking to scale. So when you say, hey, how do I get my business in from 1 truck to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 18, 18 to 36, 36 to 100 and whatever. But the thing is that you looking, hey, what I have to do is I got to maximize what I'm already doing, figuring out methods that work for me, getting the jobs, but making sure that people are willing to come and do the job, yourself included, willing to show up and say, you know what, I'm willing to take on the dirty jobs that most people don't want. I want the category 3 jobs. I want the sewage jobs. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not gonna take the regular water jobs. I'm going out there to challenge myself because I'm seeking growth. And the way you get growth is by challenging. If you complacent and content,
Applying it.
how
That's
do you
it.
expect the growth, right? So that's a dope perspective. What I see of how you approaching not only your business but your day to day methods on. So you know what? I was in the kitchen. I was in this high. I worked my way up. I understand pecking order. I understand chain of command. I understand. Okay, if I'm here, how do I get over there? I understand communication. I understand all of these attributes, and I'm saying these things because these are things that people can learn. These are all skill sets that we all can learn. And a lot of times they did a test, right, where they had a fish tank and they had a divider inside of the fish tank. And the fish was swimming around the fish tank, but they kept hitting that divider. So had two you had fishes on one side of the fish tank, but you had the whole fish tank but had a divider in the middle. After a while, after time, with the person that was giving the test, and they come to find out they removed the divider. Now you got this wide fish tank that is double the size. You would think that the fish would swim around the whole fish tank. They didn't. They kept hitting that imaginary wall that they built up in their own minds as fish when there was no wall. So that shows us as human beings, how many walls do we have put up in our own lives that we are afraid to go challenge, go across, scared to put our foot in the water because we said, oh, I'm not capable. Somebody told you that you wasn't. You built the belief up in your own mind, and now you're scared to step in the water. And it's not that tough.
You're woke, bro. You're fucking woke, man. Yo, bro, this little fucking concept that you have, bro, it's not even a little concept. It's a huge concept to the most. But the concept that you have on life and your logic, bro, I commend you.
Thank
I
you, bro.
was just telling Shorty, it's one of the wisest niggas I know. One of the most like, bro, you're woke. You're woke. And it's, man, we lack this shit. As even as young men, bro, we lack this. Just to me, that's common sense. But I can't be because it's not common sense to everybody. It's something
not at all.
people gotta fucking work on.
Absolutely.
I give you kudos to that, bro.
I appreciate that, loved one. Absolutely. You know, it just built out of curiosity, you know, because we going through things in our lives, and I'm just trying to figure it out. So in the midst of going through these things, I have questions. And I heard somewhere along the line that Jazzy Jeff said this comment, and it sums up the DJ that used to be with Will Smith. He said, "Don't go to your grave empty." Meaning that all of your thoughts, all of your ideas, put them into the ethos, put them into the universe, because somebody's going to utilize it at some point in time. So this idea of not asking the question, I don't want to go to my grave and saying, damn, why I ain't asked Corin about this? If there was a thought in my mind and I didn't get it out in that moment, that would be something that's resonant in my, and it may be the answer to the question I've been asking my whole life, and it'd be a small perspective. Like even things I'm learning about you, about not only with your business but your mindset.
Yeah.
And I think that's so important about who you are, because I love people. You could do any business. There's businesses all around us. We can look in our rooms and it's very apparent that there are people that created so many things around us. And my thing is more or less about the business. Who's the person behind it? And I love to see where that person thought process that came from that allowed them to make the decisions that they're making today. And it always
and what he was trying to do. And also to think about the manufacturer behind it. Like, what does it take to fix this? What does it cost to fix this? If I'm gonna sell you this, what is it gonna cost to get to get fixed? So all of these things matter, bro. You're totally
absolutely. I have some questions I want to ask you. I've written them down over here because So let me just want to get to him like this, right? Uh, what was the most valuable thing or interesting thing that you have found during a cleanup?
Hmm. One job we did, we found like 30 bands.
Money,
Yeah. And
30 racks.
30 racks. And it was all, what's the word? Deteriorated?
Yeah,
And it was like, man, when we ended up bringing it into the bank, we was only able to salvage like, I said like 19K.
wow,
Um, yeah, split it amongst the gang. You know,
absolutely. Yeah, we
like,
all eat.
come on, bro. That's something you gotta do. Find something on my job. I would hope that they're honorable enough to be like, we found this, and I have no problem piecing niggas off. I
Absolutely. That's
um,
dope. I like that.
that's probably something that was the craziest
Yeah.
that I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I've seen shit like, I didn't clean down a tub where this lady died in, and um,
She was unalived in a tub.
she was in the tub. I never see the bodies, so I'm only
Okay.
able to go in after the and is
Okay.
over. And I cleaned the tub out, and I found a lot of this lady's flesh. And while I'm looking at it, I'm like, bro, it's really crazy to see you seeing people's cheeks, like just how their body just came off, like how their skin and flesh just came off of their bones, and you'll take that home. And like I
Yeah.
said, try not to take a lot of shit home, but I'm built for this shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
I see a lot of crazy shit, but the craziest, most valuable thing that I could was that bread, bro.
That
That
munchie, yeah, that chicken, that munyan,
bro,
that booger.
that was, bro, that shit was so old, so moldy. I seen bills that I've never seen before, and I'm
Wow.
like, wow. And to see the process that the bank would even still accept it,
Yeah.
um,
That's dope. Cause
that
had
shit,
it,
that shit makes me feel like the value of a dollar will always be relevant.
yeah, absolutely.
People always act like it won't. It
Oh
will.
yeah, it's
You,
currency.
you
It's
need that cash.
currency. Yeah. I was thinking about something. Let me get the thought back. When you said, I
Nigga
was thinking
fried.
about something. Something came across my mind. I missed the thought, but I'm gonna get back to it because it'll come back up. Um. Oh, it was about the. It'll come back. It'll come back. Um. You said the craziest job. We've seen that. What was the grossest job? Something that just like whoa. You seen dead cats. We found the money. You found a lady. Well, the oh no, here it is. Before we get there, let me cut the wisdom. I got the thought.
Yeah.
So when you were talking about the lady that had decomposed and unalived inside of the tub, are you privy to hearing the stories, the backstories of how the house came to be or the person, etc.?
You ask that.
Mm-hmm.
My girl asks me all the time when I come back from telling her these jobs that I was on, like, what happened and da da da. I'm supposed to know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just me not giving a fuck. but like, bro, yes, you are supposed to ask these things because it matters. It helps you. You want to know how a nigga shot himself, where he
Yeah.
shot himself. Because it gives you an idea of where pathogens might have expanded.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? If a nigga
absolutely.
like this, then I know. Okay, boom. I need to be shining my UV light towards the ceiling.
Absolutely.
Niggas in his bed and he shot himself. It's like
Mm,
it all matters, man. So yes, I'm glad you brought that up because that is something that I need to work on. I do need to get more nosy. I do need to figure out um what happened on these jobs, and
yeah.
also because you got to talk to these customers, man, and
Absolutely.
them you got to talk to them with compassion. And
Absolutely.
You gotta be empathetic. You gotta know how to say certain things and what to say to them. Motherfuckers might just start crying when you ask them what happened.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I veer off, but
Yeah.
it's important. I'm glad you said that. That's funny.
No doubt. Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad. I love that perspective because we touched on it a little bit earlier. But when I said when you walked into these jobs, is it strictly business or is having compassion and empathy? And sometimes you find the right balance to know what to do in the moment. Sometimes there be some things like you said. I had the whole job where everything was going smooth, and then the pearl situation hit, and now everything's just chaotic. But to go into these situations with the mindset to say, hey, I'm dealing with a human being. I'm dealing with a person. I'm dealing with somebody that's going through trauma. This is the nature of my business. The backbone of my business is about trauma, and I'm putting the people. Of course, I'm doing business, but I also have to have compassion about the people because these people are calling me in to help. So if I'm coming in here and I don't find ways to be creative in my approach to help them, not only through the cleanup and the business aspect of it, but emotionally, and you are, even though you're not licensed as a therapist, and we know we want extra help to come on deck and have other people come in and assist to where they can assist. But if nobody's around, you coming from a good stock and learning those same mannerisms, like you said about your mom, teaching you how to look a person in the eye, those things count. So when somebody's speaking, you don't got to say a word, just showing eye contact and listening. And then they feel like I'm being heard because a lot of people don't have people to talk to. They
It
may
all
be lonely because I've talked to
applies.
me.
All applies.
All applies. And when you go through these situations, just curiosity, we see a hoarder. Um, tech, are they are they by themselves? Because I read a statistic somewhere, and he said that most hoarders in the U.S. are around 50 years of age. So it's mainly, even though the condition started when they were younger, right? They may have had a loss of a family member. They have they have mental health issues. They have gone through something traumatic in their lives, and it turned for the worse. And it's something that might have happened early in a life and progressed, and then they finally start to call in around that 50-year mark of saying, "Hey, there's something going on around here. We need some help," or somebody, a family member, talk to me.
That it's never that. It's
It's never
never.
that.
It's never a hoarder saying I have an issue and I need it to be taken care of.
It's
It's
it's who is it?
their kids who's fed up.
Okay.
Um, it's social workers from people who are in their homes and they want to get rid of these patients because
Mm,
when they need them back in their homes. It's probably a fire department letting them know like listen, you got a hazard here. Um, it's never them. So
wow.
you always gotta be woke and know that these people aren't sane and their family members are concerned. It's mostly these people's family members, man, and they're tired, they're fed up, and they need the help. And listen, here at TCS, man, I'm always a shoulder to cry on.
I like that.
You know, because listen, I'm gonna throw this smile on their ass
Yeah.
and let them know I'm here to help. We're
Yeah.
not.
Really.
I tell my employees before we go to a job, I don't need you making faces. I don't care how bad it smell. Put your mask on.
Hmm.
One thing we not gonna do is make our customers uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Uh,
We're not gonna judge. Nope.
uh, and that's all they care about.
Yeah.
Like people, they call to try to see if I can give them an estimate over the phone. Can't do it. I need
Yeah.
to I need to see what's going on. And a lot of these people they don't want me to come through because they're embarrassed. But
Yeah.
my job to do something that ain't my job by coaching them and letting them know that we're here to help.
Have you seen on-site disputes with family members?
Oh my god. Motherfuckers fighting, all type.
Mm.
That's when that's when this coaching shit comes involved, man. Sometimes I love helping my employees and I love getting dirty with them and helping them get through the job, but sometimes I can't, man. Sometimes I gotta sit next to that customer and literally ask them, is this garbage? Is this garbage? Is this garbage? And I'm sorry that, and they get overwhelmed. They ask me, oh, can we take 30? Can we? And guess I'm gonna do it for them. I have
Yeah.
no, however long it takes to do the job, we're gonna get it done.
That's your staff included. Your staff, do they need time to where they need when they doing a job? Hey, this job is maybe overwhelming. Do
They'll
do they have that freedom within your business to say, you know what, I need a minute or two to gather my things and you know?
they do, and that's what comes with it. And I
Yeah.
let them know before we even go on a job, this is what we're doing, this is what it entails. If you're not up for it, please let me know so I can get somebody else that is, or someone that can stomach this job, or someone who's mature enough to not be able to laugh when family disputes happen,
Yeah.
or squinch their face when they think things are disgusting. It all matters, man.
Is speed a factor? How fast you do the job?
Oh,
Do you have a time frame on a window when it has to be completed by?
okay.
Are you up against that?
Great question. You never know when a job is supposed to be done. I always have a good idea because I know my work ethic, but
Yeah.
you also got to understand the people who work for you, their work ethic. And it's only my job to instill my work ethic in them. But yes, it does matter, bro. Um, a job could cost me fucking 4 bins, and
Yeah.
um, my labor cost might only cost four people. My labor cost might only cost me $800.
Yeah.
If I need them for a second day, that's $1,600.
Absolutely
How
doubles
lose-
up.
You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's important. Knowing how many people to have on the job, knowing how long. I'd rather flood the spot out the first day,
Yeah.
so I know that I'm gonna get all of this done. That
Yeah.
on I do gotta take a second day, get off of my throne,
Correct.
and get my ass working with another helper, and that's
Okay.
just gonna freak my shit.
You get your hands dirty too. You put that work in too.
How to it all matters, man. I gotta make my money. I gotta be strategic. I gotta know labor costs, labor prices. It all matters.
Let me ask you, is there a time of the day preferred to do jobs? During the morning, late at night, midday? Are you how
I
does that work?
I try to push everything to morning.
Morning? Morning is the best time?
Even though like when something's a major, I'm a 24-hour emergency service company, so even if like things need to be done now, I'm always prepared to do it now. But a lot of families aren't.
Yeah.
No one, if a coroner calls me and says, "Listen, we found a body, and it's bad, and we took it out. We need you to come here to assess the job." I'm
Yeah.
gonna pull up at 12, 1, 2 a.m.
Okay.
I'm gonna up. I'm gonna obviously go to them with compassion, give them our cards, let them know we're here to help. If they do decide to hire me, we're pulling up whenever
Yeah.
you want. Mostly the sewage jobs is something that I'll do right away because
Yeah.
it's easy. It's just going right into my truck or going right into my extraction machines and we getting it out of there. But as far as
Absolutely.
someone's passed away or hoarder jobs, I'm pushing all that shit to the morning.
Yeah.
And I like to start bright and early, 8 a.m. Yeah, we there before the roosters is out.
I like that.
Hmm?
Let me see what I have on this. Um, orders. Are you interested in government contracting?
I am. And we was kind of talking about this
Absolutely.
off camera.
Absolutely.
A lot of these government contracts, man, they want you to be on point. You need to be able to show back taxes. You need to be able to show you got enough money in the bank to be able to afford prevalence wages. You it all matters, man. And my thing to tell any small business owners, get your shit together, get your shit right before you decide to start bidding on jobs.
I
Me
think it's
personally, I'm not there. I'm not ready to I'm ready to bid, but I gotta get a little more skin in the game before
absolutely.
ready to start bidding. So my thing is to just build relationships and be outside.
I like that.
Um, which is another reason why I became a firefighter.
Yeah.
Switch gears.
Come on, loved one.
Yeah.
Come on, loved one. Absolutely. I commend you on that. My man Goodfella, he's a firefighter as well. Fireman as well. And I think those jobs seem super heroic to me because I feel like going into a fire, knowing that you may risk it all, and there's a potential. Of course, we're not preparing for the worst, but we also understand there's always two sides of the bread, right? There's always, good and bad. There's always oxymorons. There's always, two sides of a coin. So there's always possibilities, and we don't focus on the negative, right? We don't really want to pay that attention, but it allows you to be precautionary and making educated guesses, more or less just going in things blindly and just doing things just to be for the sake of doing them and not being prepared. And I think that your motto, the way you think, I think preparedness is one of your strong skill sets, something that you have learned to develop because we have seen that over the course of the time of how you approach things. And I'm listening to you as we talk, and I'm learning so many things about you.
Yeah.
And beyond the businesses, these are wonderful and beautiful things. Our accolades, our personal achievements, these things are so important because these are the things that we are allowed to take with us no matter where we go. The personal achievements, the internal things. These are the things, no matter where you go, you're always going to carry you. Business models may change. Things may I may get into another I may come into a joint venture. I may come up with I may be a venture capitalist at that time. I may start just investing in businesses. Whatever you decide to do, the thing is that you're always going to be involved. You take you no matter where you go. And these are the things I love to really tap in and see who the person is because I love to see where you going to be at in 5 years and then 10. And I'm saying, damn, when me and Corin was talking 10 years ago, look what he done now. No, he's up to 60, 70. He got 100 trucks. Or he's into this business. Or he got this going on. Or he's doing that. Or whatever it may be, I love to see the journey because we planting the seeds now. And that's the beauty of it. You said something that's super commendable. You're transparent. When you said that, hey, now I'm looking at government contracting, but I'm not yet ready. I know I'm mentally ready, but there's some other things I got to still do. I got to have more skin in the game. I got to build stronger relationships. That's somebody that's really upfront and cares enough about himself, not just worrying about the image. He worrying about communicating to his clients and future business partners that, hey, no, I will be there. And when I show up, I'll be prepared to do the job. And you know I'm there to do the job. I'm not gonna finesse. I've done some things in the past that I've experienced where I try to, take a little shortcuts because we all have done it. We want the process to happen a little bit quicker. But for you to say, I'm not ready yet, I will be. I'm planting the seed though, preparing. I'm putting the skin in the game. That's what counts. That's what counts, family.
Man, that's all. That's all this shit is, man. When you start your own brand, start your own business, man, you gotta plan for that future.
Absolutely. I'm gonna ask you this.
Out the window.
Have I missed anything today that you may feel like we missed and you want to just elaborate on that today? Is there something that I didn't say and you say, you know what, I wish we would have talked about this, or I missed this, or I want to say this? Have anything crossed your mind?
Shit. Tap in, man. Tap in with TCS, man, trauma care specialist. Um, I'm a young black business owner,
Absolutely.
and I'm thriving for greatness.
Powerful.
I something I learned about this firefighter shit, man. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't get paid at all for this. This is all volunteer work,
Wow.
but it tells you about a person, someone who's willing to risk his life or put himself in a position to where that's even possible happening. It just shows you what kind of person I am. I thrive off of helping folks. That's something I love to do. I love waking up every day knowing that I'm gonna make someone's day better. And yeah, I don't know, not to boast or brag, but that's that's just something I love doing, man. And I feel like it's great to just wake up loving what the fuck you do, man.
True indeed. Yeah.
Love what you do.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I feel like today we tapped in on a lot of shit, and
For sure.
it's a very informative conversation. And you know, I love
Absolutely.
you like
I
a
love you
brother.
more. You know that.
Feel
Unconditionally. You know that. And I'm glad we able to converse and let that known to the world that we're gonna stick by one another. We're gonna do our part. We're gonna show up. If I'm slacking, yo, Reed, pick it up.
yeah,
Yo, bro, get that right. Now I see you. We need to. Oh, I got an alley oop. I got something going on over here. Hey, put this play together. Whatever we can be the resource and be resourceful, right? Utilize our resources, extend our hands, build up that communication. And I'm super appreciative for you trusting me to come on a platform because that matters to me. And I want to always want to emphasize that because I know you don't have to. You could have been doing something else. You could just said no. You could have been in.
I told you, listen, it's the first time I've been on camera. You know what I'm
True
saying?
indeed. True
Listen,
indeed.
you got to jump out the window, man. You got to do
Absolutely.
something comfortable with. And
Absolutely.
man, I'm comfortable. I love the platform I'm on. I
True
love this
indeed.
doing. This shit lit.
Absolutely. I'm gonna ask you one more question before we go. If there was somebody that's up and coming and they trying to figure it out and they want to tap into restoration, trauma care, they want to get involved in this business, right? What is something that you want to leave them with in order to encourage them on a journey? Is it something
Um,
that you want to leave them with?
Stay down till you up.
Mm.
Don't rush the process. This shit gets slow.
Mm-hmm.
I go goddamn 2 weeks, no motion.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta be able to get through that adversity. You gotta be able
Absolutely.
to say, you gotta be able to take accountability. I ain't make this much money this week because I ain't go hard enough.
Mm.
So this whole shit, man, is built off of work ethic, relationships, and and getting through adversity. That's really what my business, or really anything you want to fucking build, is is really what it's based on, man. Stay down till you up, take accountability, and be ready to get through adversity. Because you're
Absolutely.
gonna have a lot of it. It's gonna be a lot of hiccups, a lot of ups and downs. You're gonna have car issues. You in this business, you gotta front money before you start the job.
Indeed.
I might need a goddamn dumpster.
Mm-hmm.
Porter jobs that's gonna run you about $800-900.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yes, sir.
have your mind all right, have
Yep.
your priorities right, sacrifice the
Mm-hmm.
think are important. It ain't important.
True indeed.
It took me 27 years to realize. I'll say the last 2 years I've been pretty woke. So I'll say 25, 26. It took me 25 years to realize like all that shit my dad was trying to instill in me, that shit matters.
Absolutely.
So wake the fuck up, man. People out here moving.
Mm-hmm.
That bag,
Yep.
this restoration shit where it's at.
Absolutely. Tell people where they can find you at. Give them the emails, ads, etc.
Find me on Instagram, Trauma Cares 247. Uh, Email me if you have any questions, any job referrals, anything at traumacare247@gmail.com.
Absolutely.
Lock into my website,
Yep.
traumacarepros.com. Very informational.
Absolutely.
Um, yeah, man, I'm here. We here to help. Restoring
Absolutely.
one cleanup at a time.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. Yeah, I love you, family, and I appreciate you showing up and really sharing your expertise and really giving our audience something to look forward to. You inspiring people that haven't yet, you know, uh, matured into the level of where you are in your business, but you inspiring people to get on that journey and figure that thing out as well. And I know once they get there, there will be doors opened up to where business can be congregated together and made together, and that's the beauty of you sharing the information, because you one of those personnels that received it and you still giving it, and that's the flow of the currency. So once again, I'm super appreciative for you stepping on the platform, sharing your expertise. We definitely gonna do this again at some point in time, and go out there, keep killing it, keep going out there, keep working hard, keep grinding, keep opening up them doors for yourself.
Fuck
Scale
around.
up.
Might have to fuck around and have you on one of my jobs.
Yeah, I'm
Record
with it. I'm down for it. Man.
and
Come on, baby. I get my hands dirty.
we
You
do a
feel
little
me?
we do a little episode though, you know what I'm saying? A
I'm
little
with that. I like that. We can do that as well. I'm with that. On site. Come on. Let's put that play together. We're gonna do that. Yes, sir. That's the next round.
yeah, man. Love you.
Love you more, family. Enjoy your night, family.
Baby.
And tell wifey, man, I commend her for being a strong woman standing next to you.
Thank you, baby. See the support on
Absolutely.
deck.
On deck. Come on.
Alright, brother.
Later, bro. Man, that was a powerful interview tonight, man. Super static. There's so many things that I wanted to know, and I got some of those answers tonight. Hopefully, you was able to use this as something that you could utilize in your near future. Learn so many things that we have shared tonight. We shared our sentiment. We shared our business acumen. We shared just our care and our love for people, and having high levels of empathy. When people going through trauma, they need some type of healing. And with his service, he's providing that. Trauma Care 247. Please contact, email, Instagram, social media, tap in. People that's going out there suffering through any trauma, hoarding, etc. Just dealing with some of these issues. Please contact myself, contact my brother, and I'm gonna shoot it right over. Contact bro, and we locked in, man. I appreciate you guys showing up tonight, and I will see you on the next episode of the Respectfully Great podcast. Go to respectfullygreat.com. You can shop. Go to at Respectfully Great on YouTube. The Real Johnny Reed on Instagram, Twitter, X, TikTok, everything. One thing I need you to do is just show up for yourself. Love yourself and be willing. That's a powerful word that my brother used tonight. Corin Brown used tonight, was willing. So be willing to go out there and challenge yourself. Be stepping out tonight, respectfully.